What makes a great organization that stands the test of time? The answer is, its people. The story of a great organization is written through the passion and purpose of the people that work there. And for more than 135 years, the people of KidsPeace have written its story by providing hope, help, and healing. In 1882, as a smallpox epidemic ravaged the community of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, a local businessman named William Thurston sprang into action. Thurston had worked his way up from a child laborer to the head of his company. Orphaned himself at a young age, he was moved by the plight of the children who lost parents to illness, and by the realization that many of the victims had worked at his company. He founded the Thurston Home for Children and hired live-in staff to care for the children.
William Thurston, an example of commitment to children in his care, was reflected in his choice of people work at the children's home. All these years later, the commitment remains as a guiding principle of KidsPeace.
Thurston's company would in time become known around the world as Bethlehem Steel, and after his death, other community benefactors funded the children's home he started on a permanent basis. One of those benefactors, a retired Marine Corps captain named James Wiley, donated money to build a new home for the organization. The Annie Wiley Memorial Home for Children provided space to serve more children, as well as a lasting name for the organization, Wiley House. But the story wasn't just being written by the rich and powerful. At a time when there was no governmental programs or public revenue sources for social programs, philanthropy came from the community at large. Everything from clothes to books to 3 gallons of ice cream and a famous donation from Mrs. Callahan, one prize chicken. The dedicated staff members who cared for the children in the early days set the foundation for KidsPeace's future through leadership in humane care. Corporal punishment was banned, and the practice of transporting orphans to the western frontier to become indentured servants was firmly rejected. The Wiley House community saw caring for its children as a privilege and finding ways to meet their emerging needs as a sacred duty, such as reaching out to oversee foster homes for children whose families were disrupted in the Great Depression, and hiring caseworkers, educators, and therapeutic staff as awareness of the effects of abuse and mental health challenges among children increased. The evolution of Wiley House in the mid-20th century came as our society's approach to protecting children was also evolving.
Around the time of the New Deal, in the early 1930s, governmental protection began to be extended to children. We saw new laws against child labor and child abuse, more emphasis on educational opportunities. And from that point through the years, after World War II, Wiley House began to transition, to evolve, to focus on providing mental health services to kids in its care.
On the site of the original Wiley House, new residential facilities and a child development education center gave our professionals more tools, more opportunities to help children in crisis. In these chapters of their story, the organization and its people showed their ability to adapt and improve in their service to children. Perhaps the most dramatic evolution came in the 1990s. A new name, KidsPeace, highlighted the organization's commitment to changing for the sake of the children. That renewed purpose took physical shape when KidsPeace Children's Hospital opened at the Orchard Hills campus in Orfield, Pennsylvania. At 120 beds, it's one of the largest freestanding facilities of its kind in the United States, dedicated to treating the most intense trauma and crisis patients from the surrounding community and across the country. New residential treatment centers in the Orchard Hills campus, at Graham Lake in Maine, and in Bowden, Georgia, expanded the therapeutic and educational opportunities the organization can provide the children it serves. Therapeutic foster care under the KidsPeace banner now provides safety and help to kids in multiple states. Outpatient and educational programming opens the door to successful lives to children once considered lost to their conditions, especially those kids on the autism spectrum, as well as adults who can benefit from KidsPeace knowledge and dedication in the mental and behavioral health field. And through KidsPeace social media and web presence, the technology of the 21st century is bringing the expertise and inspiration of KidsPeace to literally all corners of the world. All of these advancements can be traced back to the simple fact that the story of a great organization is told through the purpose, passion, and progress of its people. The purpose set forth by William Thurston and those who supported his efforts to help children in need. The passion shared by KidsPeace staff and benefactors who built and advanced the organization across more than a century. And the progress that new people, associates, supporters, and partners bring to bear to aid individuals in crisis.
Since William Thurston's time, our organization has succeeded in helping our clients because our own people have been so dedicated and resilient. They're the reason KidsPeace has been able to evolve as the needs of those we help changed. That ethic is in our DNA, and our next generation of associates will make sure we continue to grow and evolve in the years to come.
Every day, the people of KidsPeace continue to write new chapters of a story that brings to life the organization's mission to give hope, help, and healing to children, adults, and those who love them. The KidsPeace Way.